gonna go ahead and prepare my chicken breast. Have some lemon juice, and I'm gonna just put this all over, and then I'm gonna wash it. So I'll be back. So the first thing I'm gonna add is some tandoori sauce, and this is about 1 tablespoon. And then I'm gonna add some all-purpose seasoning salt. This is the Cool Runnings one with the roasted garlic and all of that goodness, Caribbean spices in there. You can add anything you want to this. I'm using some oregano. Gotta be generous with that oregano. I'm gonna put a tad of jerk seasoning. We're creating a flavor here. We don't know what's gonna happen, but this is how new foods are created. I'm gonna add some garlic. So a little bit of powdered garlic. I'm seasoning this now, and I'm gonna let it sit for a couple hours, probably about 4 to 5 hours, until dinner time later. I'm adding a few thyme leaves. I'm adding some Italian seasoning, so Italian style. Heat. So I'm adding some chili flakes, not too much because I am cooking for my children also. And although they can handle pepper, not too much. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of white black pepper, just a bit, just a bit. And then with my spoon, I'm just gonna start mixing all this in. All right, so we are done. I'm gonna cover this now, put it in my fridge, and we will see this a little later. So it's been a few hours, so I have my little wok here. You can use any pot. I'm just gonna add a little olive oil to that. And then we're gonna put in our chicken, which have been sitting for about 5 hours. You can cook your chicken right away. You don't have to marinate yours. It's just because I seasoned it up early for dinner while I did mine. I'm gonna save my pot, because I'm gonna add some water to that. And then you wanna let these just slowly just saute in the pot on medium heat. So you wanna continuously mix it here and there as it's slowly cooking in your pot. We're gonna cover that and cut up some seasoning, and we're just gonna give that a few minutes, like 3 minutes. Garlic, sweet pepper, and half an onion. We're just gonna check on this. So when you cover it, it starts to like steam and kind of make its own water, which just make it delicious. So just gonna go ahead and spin that again. You're gonna see how it's getting nice and seared. That's what you want. Nice and seared. You could fry these first, like deep fry them in a frying pan before you, if you don't have a wok, like I said, you can use anything that you have. Work with what you got. Alright, so we're gonna cover that and give it another couple minutes. In the meantime, we're going to cut these up. It's looking good, so I went ahead and added my seasoning. It tastes really good already, you guys. Tastes amazing. So I have some water here. This is about a cup of water, just in the same pan that I used to season everything. And I'm gonna slowly, just lightly add some seasoning salt. That was probably like maybe half a teaspoon, probably even less, of water. Okay, Oreo, behave. If you have chicken broth, that works too, or beef broth. I'm gonna add that in here. I wish I had some mushrooms. If you have some mushrooms, that would go so good in here. If you don't, that's alright. And we're gonna just let this cover down a little bit. I will probably add a little bit more water in here because I wanted all my chicken to cook down and be nice and tender. So I'm probably gonna add a tad bit more water, and I'm gonna turn this down on super low heat and let this cook down for about 40 minutes or so. We'll keep track. Alright, so I have a little bit more water, and I did add a tad bit more of the tandoori sauce and some more seasoning salt. You have to taste your pot and add your salt. I do recommend that because, you know, we all have different taste buds, and, you know, just we can all tolerate salt differently. Perfect. Alright, and we're going to cover that and let that just simmer down nicely. So I'm going to turn my stove down on low. You want to wait till it starts to like bubble up like this, and then turn your stove down on low. So mine's about, let's say it's on 3. And then we're gonna cover this, and we're gonna set a timer for. We'll set it for 40 minutes, but with continuous watching. 45. We'll come back and go back and forth and watch it. So in the meantime, we're gonna work on our pasta. Oh, I forgot to push. What am I pushing? Start. There. Turn our stove on. Wait, I want it on high. And then I have some pot of water here. We're gonna put that on, and let me grab my eggs. Grab your eggs. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and add 4 eggs. You can even add 5 or 6, depending on how much eggs you like, to our water. I'll probably add another one, so I'm gonna add about 5. All right, so my egg's been boiling for about 5 minutes now, so I'm gonna add a little salt to my water for flavor. I'm gonna use 2 different type of pasta. So I have these curly ones here, and then I'm also adding these ones, these little cockle shell looking ones. Thank you. And we're gonna let that boil. Gonna give this a quick stir, and we're gonna let it boil. In the meantime, we're gonna get our sweet pepper and all of that goodness ready. All right, so we're gonna make sure you watch out. The steam's serious. So we're gonna check on our chicken now. So as you can see, covering it, it makes its own water. So I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar just to dilute the salt a little bit, so it's not just all, you know, salt. I'm just trying to bring out the flavor as much as I possibly can. So for the next 60 minutes, we're going to cook it basically open. So I'm not even going to, I'm going to put some potatoes in here. Thank you, Craig. Yeah, so I'm going to put some potatoes in here, and then we're going to just let that cook down. And I'm going to turn my stove down on, I'm going to turn my stove up a little to medium. Because sometimes it needs that little pressure cook to really like get it tenderized. Alright, my pasta is done. They look really good. So I'm going to strain them now. So it looks good. My timer just ended. We are now at 0. And it looks good. So you can go ahead and turn off your stove now. Chicken nice and tender, breaks apart nicely. Potatoes are cooked. Yep, our potatoes are cooked. So we're pretty much done. I have some minced onions here that I chopped up, and I have about a tablespoon of vinegar. This is just a regular white vinegar, and I'm just gonna soak these onions in that. Just sit there and let it just soak away. And here I have a whole bunch of different sweet peppers. I have red, the orange one, the green one. Then I have a carrot, and I have some cucumbers. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this all up. Alright, I'm all done. So I got everything here. I just ended up using a small piece of the carrot because I would have more cooked out the carrot a little bit before I cut it up, just so it's not too sweet.
Wait, so how does everybody whistle? Mom, what is this?
And then I'm going to do my eggs after. One sec, babe. Alright, so I have everything in here. My cucumbers, my eggs, my onions, soaked in vinegar. Got some mayonnaise in here. My carrots and my different sweet peppers. And then we're going to begin to mix that in. You have the choice to use the whole egg or the white or the yolk, whichever you prefer. I just kind of use the whole thing. But on a usual, I would just sometimes use just the white part. But it's delicious either way. You can add anything to this if you want. If you want to cut up some spinach and throw in there, make it a party. It's looking like a party already. So I'm going to add a bit of black pepper. Not too much, just a little bit. And because I usually put some whipped dressing, which has that little bit of sweetness, which I don't have, I'm going to substitute and put a little bit of corn. With some of the juices in there. Oopsie. So I'm going to substitute for that and just add just a bit, just a tiny bit. And then that will just substitute for that little bit of sweetness. And then I'm going to add like probably about a pinch of salt. Just a little bit of salt. Because it just tastes pretty plain right now. Trying to get some flavor into there. So I added a tad bit more corn in the water, and I'm just gonna sprinkle the tiniest, just a bit of sugar, just a bit of sugar. I'm looking for a little bit of a sweetness to it with a little tangy. So we'll say I added about a nice a nice teaspoon of sugar in there. And it really made, and we'll say a half cup of corn with a bit of its juices, the canned corn. And it tastes pretty good. It's really good. Yeah. And you simply plate your dish. That's pretty much all it is to this meal. So everything is looking good. And that is the end of the dish. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next dish. Bye.